Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a powerful system for actually making your big ideas happen, all based on the book, The 4 Disciplines of Execution. If you've ever felt like you have great plans but struggle to turn them into reality, then this is for you.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever hit the end of a long week, looked back, and thought, man, I was so busy, but what did I actually do? If that sounds familiar, well, you're not alone. And there's a specific name for the force that makes us all feel that way.
It's called the whirlwind. You know what this is. It's the constant chaos of emails, meetings, and unexpected problems that pop up all day long. This whirlwind absolutely devours your time and energy, and it's the number one reason our most important goals get pushed to the side. But here's the good news. You do not have to be a victim of the whirlwind. You can absolutely fight back by installing a simple, reliable system designed to get your goals done not just in spite of the chaos, but within it. So, here's our game plan. We'll start by really understanding the whirlwind, then we'll walk through each of the 4 disciplines that form the solution. And we'll wrap it all up by showing you how to truly master execution. All right, first things first. Let's take a closer look at the whirlwind, because you can't defeat an enemy you don't understand. The whole effect of the whirlwind is that it traps you in a constant state of reaction. You spend all your time putting out fires instead of actually building something new. This makes proactive, focused work on your big goals feel pretty much impossible.
So, how do we start to fight back? Well, Discipline 1 is all about creating extreme, laser-like focus right in the middle of all that chaos.
The book uses this brilliant analogy. Think like an air traffic controller. They've got dozens of planes on their radar, right? But their success and everyone's safety depends on focusing all their energy on landing the one plane that is wildly important at this exact moment. And this brings us to what's called your WIG, or your wildly important goal. To find yours, just ask this one question. If every other area of my performance stayed exactly the same, what is the one achievement that would make the biggest possible impact? Now, a great WIG is never a vague idea. It has to be a crystal clear finish line. Using this format from X to Y by Z forces you to be specific. There's no ambiguity. Raise monthly sales from $6,000 to $12,000 by December 31st. That's a perfect WIG. Okay, on to Discipline 2. Once you've got that clear goal, you need the right way to measure your progress, a way that actually keeps you motivated and in the game day to day. And this brings us to a really critical difference. On one side, you have lag measures. They track the results you want, like lose 20 pounds. The problem is, you can't directly control that number today. But on the other side, you have lead measures. These are the high-impact actions you can control every single day, like how many calories you eat. See, trying to just focus on a lag measure is super frustrating because there's a delay. But if you focus on your lead measures, you create a game you can win every single day. You can't lose 20 pounds today, but you can hit your calorie goal. You win on the lead measures, and eventually the lag measure will have to follow. So once you're acting on the right things, you need a really visible way to track how you're doing. And that brings us to Discipline 3, the scoreboard. This quote just nails the psychology here. I mean, think about it. If you're playing a pickup basketball game and no one's keeping score, people are just kind of messing around. The second you start calling out the points, the intensity, the focus, everything changes. A scoreboard creates a will to win. And your scoreboard doesn't have to be fancy at all. In fact, simple is way, way better. It just needs to show you 3 things at a glance. What's your ultimate goal, the WIG? How are you tracking towards it? That's the lag measure. And how are you doing on the daily actions that'll get you there? Those are your lead measures. The rule of thumb is super simple. Anyone should be able to look at your scoreboard and know if you're winning or losing in 5 seconds or less. It's a constant visual reminder that pulls your focus back to what's truly important and away from the noise of the whirlwind. And that brings us to the final discipline, the one that really ties everything together and creates unstoppable momentum, a consistent rhythm of accountability. Now, this part is crucial. We are not talking about your boss breathing down your neck. This is about the incredible power of making personal commitments to your peers, to a small team that's focused on the exact same WIG, and then holding each other to those commitments. The whole process is built around a simple weekly WIG session that should take like 20 minutes tops. You follow this exact agenda. First, you report on what you said you'd do last week. Second, you review the scoreboard and learn from it. And third, you plan and make clear, specific commitments for the week ahead. What happens in these brief, regular meetings is that you tap into some really powerful human motivators. There's this deep need we all have to not let our teammates down. When you verbally commit to your peers that you're going to do something, it creates this powerful internal drive to follow through.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. Let's see how these 4 disciplines work together to create a complete system for mastering execution.
See, this isn't just a list of good ideas. It's a complete, finely tuned operating system for getting results. You combine that one focused goal with actions you can influence, a simple scoreboard, and pure accountability, and what you get is a system that drives execution despite all the daily chaos. So, the framework is all here. You now have the tools to get breakthrough results. The only question left is the one right here on the screen. What is your wildly important goal?